Ladies and gentlemen, we are at the end of 2024, and that means we need to rank every bowling ball that has been released this year. There have been 88 total bowling balls released domestically in 2024. So what we're going to do is, instead of ranking all 88, because that sounds miserable, we are going to be ranking them based on the category that we use on this channel. For context, the categories on the channel are strong and smooth category, strong and sharp, medium and smooth, medium and sharp, weak and smooth, weak and sharp, and that determines what the shape of the bowling ball is and where it hooks on a lane. So for today's video, we are going to be ranking all of the strong and smooth bowling balls to be released by the main 11 brands in 2024. Reminder, if you're new here, make sure to drop a sub. It helps me out a ton. We have a lot of other great bowling content coming by the end of the year. And also, we have a membership program if you want ad-free viewing, and then you can have a few extra custom emotes and badges. In 2024, we had 19 bowling balls get released in the strong and smooth category. Most of these bowling balls are going to be asymmetrical bowling balls that are either solid or hybrid. There's a few little quirks in here, but most of them will be asymmetrical. So let's start off at the bottom of the list. We are going to record our top 5 bowling balls from the list. It covers all of the different brands. So going at number 5 is going to be the Motiv Evoke, the beach ball. The Motiv Evoke was released early in 2024. This thing was going to be not the strongest bowling ball that Motiv released, but one of the strongest. It has a super smooth and early cover stock on it that Motiv's used in the past in different ways to be able to play a lot straighter, but it has a slight asymmetrical core to it, not a Jackal strong asymmetrical core, but still a strong asym core. So this thing is going to be best for a lot of oil and playing a little bit straighter. The wonky thing with this ball is it actually played really well from deeper. This is one of the more versatile asymmetrical solid bowling balls on the market, and Motiv generally doesn't have very versatile asymmetrical balls. The Jackals of the past are really good from straighter, and then the shiny ones are really good from deep, but they really don't intermix much, whereas this Evoke tended to play both sides of the fence very well. This Evoke seemed to be really good shiny if you polished it also, which pushed it further into the strong and sharp category. But a bowling ball being able to change cover stock like that, or not cover stock specifically, but the surface of the cover stock, being able to change that and still be good is a really good sign. So this Evoke came out early in the year. We had it on our top 5 bowling balls of the year at the midway point of 2024, and it's staying on the list in the number 5 slot. Coming in next on the list is a newer ball with the Track Criterion. The Track Criterion is the new strong asymmetrical ball from Track Bowling, got released later in 2024, and this is really a reiteration of a lot of Track successful strong bowling balls of the past. This is supposed to be the baby of the Archetype, the Paragon, and the Paradox series. This core was made culminating all of those together. Same with the cover stock. This is something that was used in the past on a lot of Track asymmetrical solids. Overall, similar to the Evoke, this one is highly versatile. This is not going to be hooking very early and then not hooking the rest of the lane because it burns up all of its energy. It actually hooks in the mid lane pretty well, finishes down lane, can be played from left, can be played from straighter. This thing really can do it all compared to a lot of asymmetrical solids, especially from Brunswick. Brunswick notoriously has been able to create a ball shape that hooks super early, so it's great when there's a ton of oil, but doesn't really have much shape down lane. This Criterion has really changed that, where the ball reaction is still pretty early, but the ball still continues through the pins, which is very shocking. I honestly did not know what to expect from this ball coming out. Overall, reviews have been sky high. This is some of the Brunswick staffers' favorite asymmetrical solid from those brands. We're going to come out with another one in a second that beats this one. But the Criterion overall seems to be a very good step in the right direction for Track Bowling. I'm really excited to see a Criterion Pearl hopefully coming out in the future. It's still a little too early to tell. That'll probably be a middle of the year 2025 ball to be released. But if the Criterion sales are high enough, which they sound like they really are right now, doing pretty well, then we could see a Criterion Pearl very soon. But overall, Criterion number 4 on our list. Coming in the number 3 slot is the Storm Ion Max. Storm really hit it out of the park with this asymmetrical solid ball. The Ion Max with this really bright white and pink colorway has been amazing for a lot of people. This is really going back to Storm's roots of having a really good asymmetrical solid. A lot of people see this like a Sherlock. If you guys remember the Sherlock from many years ago, that was probably the last Storm asymmetrical solid that was really, really good. So the Ion Max is really a beefed up version of the Ion Pro. The Ion Pro is coming in as a weak and smooth bowling ball. It's between a Phase 2 and an IQ, where this Ion Max has the same core, just buffed up a little bit, where the RG lowered, the differential higher, and now it's stronger asymmetrically, and then a very strong cover stock on it also. So with all of that going together, Storm has really made something that hooks pretty early, seems to be really good on a lot of different conditions. I've seen this thing hook on 50 feet of oil. I've seen this thing hook on 38 feet of oil. I've seen it look good on house shots for speed dominant bowlers. It always continues. It seems to always continue, which is great for Storm bowling. That's something that they're always really good at, is making bowling balls that are very continuous and go through the pins the right way, where the shapes don't hook too early, but they hook just in the right part of the mid lane. This is a very rounded shape. I see this one as much better than the Harsh Reality. The Harsh Reality solid just really wants to only play straight. The minute you start hooking it, it just is inconsistent, leaving a lot of corner pins, just not doing the right thing. Where the Ion Max is good from straighter, but gets better as you go left. This almost reminds me of like a proton physics to a certain degree. A proton physics, but a little bit better. The proton physics really like to play left. This Ion Max really likes to play left also, but I feel like this Ion Max is just a little more versatile. So coming in at number 3 is the Storm Ion Max. Coming in at the number 2 slot is something that a lot of you probably foresaw, and that is the Hammer Black Widow 3.0. The Black Widow 3.0 is very similar to Black Widows of the past. Very strong solid cover stock on it. Same gas mask asymmetrical core. Same amazing Black Widow shape. So the Black Widow 2.0 was the previous solid Black Widow to come out. That one was very smooth, very good, sold super well. People really liked it. So the 3.0 is really just a slight evolution off of it. Slightly stronger cover stock. Core is the exact same, so it hooks a little bit earlier, is a little bit smoother down lane. Now, the Black Widows have never been the top of the top bowling ball. They've always been like a really good benchmark asymmetrical ball, where they're more versatile. They can be thrown on a lot of stuff. Black Widow 3.0, no different at all. This thing has done exactly what the other Black Widows have done. This is why the Black Widow is arguably the best asymmetrical bowling ball in history. You can probably quote me on that. The Jackal would be the next one to come to mind, but I think the Black Widow is better. The Black Widow overall, just very versatile. As you can see, there's a common trend with a lot of these balls on the list. They're asymmetrical solids that are actually versatile. Like I mentioned earlier, you don't want a bowling ball that burns up at your ankles and you can only play from second arrow. This Black Widow is good from second arrow. This Black Widow is also good from fourth arrow. It seems to really hold its shape down lane. The one unfortunate thing with this ball is it shines up fairly quickly from my experience, so you do need to keep the surface up quite a bit. You need to resurface it every 50 or so games, otherwise it gets a little too shiny. But the Black Widow, as we expected, as it was at the beginning of the year when it first came out and we did another top 5 video, this ball is still top of the list. Unfortunately, it has dropped a little bit because there was an absolute killer bowling ball that released after it, but number 2 is the Black Widow. And finally, the gold medal winner of 2024 is going to be the Brunswick Mesmerize. The Brunswick Mesmerize was a ball that released midway through 2024 alongside the Vaporize. Brunswick hyped this one up more than I've ever seen them hype up a ball in the last couple of years, and they succeeded. They were very right. It was not just a marketing ploy. The Mesmerize is good. This thing is ridiculous. It is arguably the earliest hooking bowling ball on the market today. However, unlike other early hooking bowling balls, this thing has shape down lane. This thing is early and fairly angular, which is very crazy for an asymmetrical solid like this. Part of it is probably the HK22 that's in the cover stock of it. That always causes the bowling ball to be a little more angular down lane and a little more continuous through the pins. But the Mesmerize hooks super early. It has a massive core, stronger than a Black Widow core. And then the asymmetrical core in it is very unique. It's something that it looks like Brunswick has spent a lot of time on. I believe they called it the tri-elliptic core, if I remember correctly. Don't quote me on that. But it has been very, very good. They were trying to call back some of their old favorites of the past because Brunswick in the past used to be the asymmetrical top of the top company. They would swipe the floor with everybody when it came to asymmetrical balls, especially ones that needed to hook early. That's where they really got their reputation. That's why you'll see a lot of the PBA 50 bowlers throwing a lot of Brunswick stuff to get the ball to pick up a little bit sooner when they're not as rev dominant as some guys on the kids tour. But the Brunswick Mesmerize definitely comes in as the best asymmetrical solid ball, as the best strong and smooth ball of 2024. One other kind of cool thing with it, you get a free jersey if you buy one from your pro shop. That didn't add into this top 5 list at all, just kind of a cool thing. Also, looks wise, this is probably my favorite looking bowling ball on the list of 5. The Ion Max looks awesome. The Mesmerize, just its blue and red, really just looks a little bit better in my opinion. So if you're somebody who likes to wait before buying a bowling ball to see if the hype is really worth it or not, hopefully you can use this list to determine what asymmetrical solid you should get either for 2025 USBC Open, for any massive tournaments coming up in tournament season in the next couple months, things like that. Hopefully this list can help you out. These are my top 5. You can't really go wrong with any of the 5. All 5 are incredible. The other ones that have come out, there have been some other really good balls coming out. The XL, for example, was fantastic. However, did not make the list. That's probably my only honorable mention. Asymmetrical solid balls and asymmetrical hybrids are a little tough. They're tough to make. It's tough to get a ball to hook early, but still be a little bit continuous down lane. I believe these top 5 actually succeed in that. Thank you guys so much for watching. We are going to have every other category top 5s coming out over the next couple weeks before we hit 2025. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't so that you can be the first to see all of these videos coming out. Otherwise, make sure to drop a like. Helps me out a ton. Helps push out the videos to more bowlers out there. Otherwise, I will see you on the next one.